Christos Voskres, Christ is risen. It is exactly 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and as we promised, we welcome all of you, visitors and parishioners and faithful of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the United States of America and people from around the world to visit our St. Sophia Ukrainian Orthodox Theological Seminary. Вітаю усіх вас рівно о 5 годині. Навіть якщо ви чуєте, церковні дзвони Свято-Андріївської церкви пам'ятника зараз відбивають 5 разів, 5 година після обіду. Вітаємо всіх вас у Свято-Софіївській Українській православній богословській семінарії нашої Української православної церкви тут, в Сполучених Штатах Америки. І одночасно хочемо запросити, так як обіцяли вам, відвідати нашу семінарію. Отож, ми розпочнемо з того, що прямо переді мною є наш семінарійний мікроавтобус. Той мікроавтобус є дуже цікавим подарунком, який був зроблений Українською православною лігою для того, щоб ми разом з семінаристами мали можливість подорожувати і відвідувати вас на парафіях. I would love to begin our little tour of St. Sophia Seminary with a seminary minivan that is always parked right here in front of the seminary. And it is a courtesy, a donation, a gift of love of the Ukrainian Orthodox League. Various chapters and members of the UOL donated funds for us, for the seminary, to obtain this minivan. And the parishioners of our St. Vladimir Ukrainian Orthodox Cathedral came up with this sign for the seminary minivan. And whenever we travel to visit parishes of the UC of USA, people on the highway do get a chance to see the official name of the seminary, our website, and where we come from, how fast we go, with what speed we travel, and sometimes we even get text messages, people commenting on our ability to drive. It all depends who's behind the wheel. So let's go and visit the seminary. Йдемо тепер до семінарії разом. Наша семінарія є дуже цікавим старовинним будинком. Вона сягає часів 18 століття. The seminary is a quite old mansion. It dates back to the mid-18th century when the family of the original owners built this seminary chapel, this seminary building as such, and it was initially a residence for a number of people that lived here. The estate held the name of Hetheringtons, and then later on it was sold in 1970s, and His Eminence Metropolitan John Theodorovich and His Eminence Archbishop back then, Yaroslav, were the visionaries that decided to purchase this property and to convert it into a art gallery first, and later on it became a seminary. Цей будинок, я вже сказав, є старовинним будинком, маєтком, де жила родина Геверінгтонів. Вони були засновниками фінансової біржі у Нью-Йорку, в місті Нью-Йорку. Протягом довгих років в цьому будинку жила ціла родина, а пізніше в 70-х роках, 1970-х роках, коли вони її продали, цей будинок, владика митрополит Іоанн Теодорович і владика архієпископ у той час Мстислав Скрипник вирішили переробити цей будинок на картинну галерею, а вже пізніше вона стала Свято-Софіївською Українською православною богословською семінарією. Отож, запрошуємо вас всіх до семінарії. So officially, because of COVID-19, the seminary is closed, and you can see it by the directive of the academic dean. Seminary building is closed to all visitors due to coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. На даний час семінарія офіційно є закрита, беручи до уваги розпоширення зараження коронавірусом, і всі навчальні заклади у штаті Нью-Джерсі є закриті. Таким чином і наша семінарія на території штату Нью-Джерсі офіційно є закрита. Ніхто з відвідувачів не має права увійти до будинку, окрім вас сьогодні. Nobody is allowed to come to the seminary building, but you, the visitors over the internet, are allowed to come to the seminary building. So welcome to St. Sophia Seminary. The formal room that you see as we enter the seminary is the old living room of the Hetheringtons estate. We keep it and try to preserve it with the original ceiling, with the original walls. We try to preserve it as a family household unit, a room, not something that is very academic or something that is very institutional. In fact, we want our seminarians that watch TV or relax or do their studies here feel like they're at home. Ми стараємося, щоб ця кімната залишилася домашньою кімнатою, щоб вона не мала вигляду якогось навчального закладу, кімнати, де студенти просто сидять за партами. Навпаки, ми стараємося, щоб вона мала ось такий домашній затишок і вигляд. Звичайно, перед нами в центрі, коли заходите до будинку Святої Софії семінарії, є портрет владики Іоанна Тодоровича. As you enter the building, we do have a picture of the founder of our St. Sophia Seminary, His Eminence Metropolitan Ioan or John Theodorovich. And that picture was taken back in 1950s when he was the primate of the church, and it was donated, and we positioned it here in a seminary chapel, so our faithful and people, whoever comes to visit, including seminarians and faculty, would really get a chance to see the face of the founder of the seminary building. In addition to that, we do have portraits of His All Holiness Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew, who years ago visited the spiritual center of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the United States of America and had a chance to tour the property of the seminary. And also we have the portraits of the present-day hierarchs, His Eminence Metropolitan Antoni, and obviously, well, I don't know if I look alike like that bishop on that picture. Hopefully we do look alike. And right in the middle we have the icon of Venerable Job of Pochayev, whose name's day we're going to celebrate in a few weeks. But that icon is very interesting because it belonged to our parish, Ukrainian Orthodox Cathedral of Holy Trinity in New York City, Broome Street, New York City. And when they were remodeling the church, the parish community donated that icon, and we brought it here to the seminary, and it is permanently positioned right here at the entrance to the seminary. So, having visited the living room, let's go to the next room. Слідуюча кімната, до якої ми вас запрошуємо відвідати, звичайно, це є комп'ютерна лабораторія. This is a computer lab for our seminary, where students get a chance to practice their English language skills. They have a few books from the St. Sophia Seminary Library, which in fact has over 60,000 volumes. It is located in a different building, in a consistory building, but the books that students need to use for the semester or that their need for their tutoring are usually positioned here for easy access, so they don't have to go to a different location. We're blessed to have our computer lab here. Our theology students, they all have their private computers, obviously, in their rooms. But for the first year students and for the computer lab purposes, especially for the English as a second language tutoring, the computer lab was positioned here and computers were installed due to generous donation of a number of parishioners or church. Це є комп'ютерна кімната семінарії, лабораторія, де студенти роблять домашні роботи, інколи вивчають додатково англійську мову чи вправляються в тих чи інших навиках протягом цілого навчального дня після закінчення їхніх уроків. The cameraman, Subdeacon Yaroslav, is already in a different room, and I'm just entering into that room, and we're getting into the formal dining room. So let me put the light on, and the formal dining room is one of my favorite rooms. It is the very original room that dates back to the late 18th century. The ceiling, the walls, the floor, everything was preserved and reconditioned on a number of occasions. If you pay attention to the ceiling, right there is that little sign. It says ceiling in English language. So what we have done over the years, when students come from Ukraine and they're trying to learn English language, we identify with little stickers every item throughout the building, and in that way they have a chance to learn visually the things that they're learning and how they're getting used to being in the United States of America. Look at the light switch. Even the light switch has a little sign there as well. Years ago, here in this living room, there was a huge monstrosity chandelier that was all the way from the ceiling and almost to the touching the table. But being so old, it collapsed, it fell apart, and due to the generous donation of one of the alumni of the seminary, very Reverend Father Stephen Repa, he purchased this chandelier, it's all crystal chandelier, and made a donation to the seminary to replace the original one, so that we have something that would reflect what the beautiful past of this building was. Ця кімната, в якій ми зараз з вами знаходимося, є формальною їдальною семінарії. Ця кімната була колись формальною їдальною родини Гедертонів, коли вони тут жили. І прямо посередині цієї кімнати був здоровий величезний світильник, котрий кілька років тому в реальності вже не витримав своєї долі і впав і розбився. Але завдяки жертовності одного з випускників нашої семінарії, протоієрея Степана Репи, ми зуміли отримати дарунок від нього. Ось такий хрустальний світильник, який тепер прикрашає нашу їдальню, нашу кімнату і віддзеркалює бодай чудове минуле, котре було тут, у цьому будинку. So as we are continuing to walk further, we're coming to this bay window, and right there in the middle of the bay window, we have the official banner of Saint Sophia, Ukrainian Orthodox Theological Seminary. Прямо тут, посередині цього вікна, ми маємо встановлену офіційну хоругву Свято-Софіївської Української Православної Богословської семінарії. Хоругва була перероблена і встановлена тут завдяки жертовності випускників 2012 року семінаристів, котрі приїхали з України. So this banner was donated by the graduates of the seminary in 2012. Back then it was Father Vasil Pasakas, Father Philip Aranza, Father Vasil Dogan, Father Andriy Matlak. They were the students, and now they're pastors of our parishes across the country, and literally across the country. Father Andriy serves all the way in Seattle, Washington. Father Vasil Dogan serves in Troy, New York. Father Philip Aranza in Scranton. Father Vasil Pasakas is the Dean of Students here in the seminary and pastor of our South Plainfield Parish in New Jersey. But this banner was a gift from them. So as we bid farewell, прощаючись з цією кімнатою, з їдальнею, instead of going that way, we're going to go through the butler's kitchen. Imagine, this house has a butler's kitchen. Ви знаєте, ця кімната і цей цілий будинок мають не тільки свою їдальню, але вони також мають кімнату приготування їжі і ще кухню. Колись родина Гедеринтонів, коли вони жили в цьому будинку, в сусідній кімнаті мала кімнату для слуг, котрі приготовляли їжу перед тим, як її винести до їдальні або підняти ліфтом, старовинним ліфтом на другий поверх. So, отож, запрошую вас I invite you to come to the butler's kitchen. So the lights are on, and this is what the butler's kitchen looks. Obviously, it was remodeled. It was changed due to a number of students that we have in the seminary. So obviously, we need all kinds of utensils, glasses, plates. And due to the general donations of the parishioners and clergy of the church, this was recently remodeled. And we have beautiful new utensils. We have cabinets, countertops, coffee machine, everything that the seminary needs for our seminarians to gain weight and to make sure they're properly prepared to become pastors of our parishes. And now, welcome to the kitchen. Кухня є, напевно, одна із найсвятіших кімнат семінарії після капличниці. It is probably the most sacred room, this room, kitchen, following the chapel in the seminary. Here in the kitchen, seminarians begin their day, they snack during the day, they end their day after prayers, and they count literally until midnight by seconds and by minutes when they're having their last snacks here in the kitchen. Це є кухня семінарії, де одна жіночка, працівниця нашого духовного осередку, пані Марія Морозовська, кожного дня приходить і готує обіди і вечері для семінаристів. Ну а вже ранком семінаристи самі собі готують сніданок. So seminarians usually have here breakfast on their own, but in the afternoon and in the evening they have prepared meals which are cooked by the chef of the seminary, Pani Maria Morozovska. So our seminarians snack here, they eat here, and they relax here in the kitchen. I have to tell you a secret. All 7 of them are quite good cooks. The other day on Sunday, last Sunday after the service, I was invited to try their master creation of pizza that they created on their own. Starting with the dough and with all the ingredients, it was baked and it was quite tasty. And then later in the living room, we had a spread and we enjoyed watching a movie late in the evening in order to prepare ourselves for the Monday services. In fact, come with me, I'll show you something. They ate the pizza. It's not here anymore. I wanted to show you the pizza, but it's gone already. But here in the room, we have our little exercise equipment where some of the students come and lift weights, work with the Bowflex, and have other equipment. Let's see if I can master one of these things. See if I'm strong enough the way Maxim our seminarian tries to lift weights. So this is what he lifts. It's 20 pounds. It's really nothing. So you don't think I'm lying. Here it says 20. So I can do 20. I don't know about Maxim. Obviously, he's not here to prove to me whether he can lift 20 or not. But I'll leave it for here for him so he can try it later and prove to all of us that he's strong enough to handle 20 pounds. So that was the little exercise room. This is our kitchen, Butler's kitchen, living room, dining room. Now we're on our way to the seminary chapel, but before we get into there, here, due to the donation of the faithful and clergy of the church, we have our laundry room. Тут є пральня для студентів, котру обладнали знову ж таки вірні нашої Української православної церкви, котрі зробили неабиякі пожертви, і ми могли закупити ці нові пральні і сушильні машини для того, щоб студенти могли опікуватися речами, котрі вони вживають кожного дня для свого вжитку. We are very grateful to the faithful and clergy of the church. Every year during Christmas season, they all sponsor us with the event Christmas in the Seminary. We request donations and we get paper towels, we get laundry detergent, we get basic needs that we need here in the seminary. So we're grateful to all of you for the donations you're making. And now we're on our way to our three holy hierarchs chapel of St. Sophia Seminary. You've been to our chapel almost every day during this time of COVID-19 coronavirus, because from here, from this sacred space, we begin and we end our every single day in the life of the seminary. Ну а тепер вітаємо всіх вас у каплиці святих трьох святителів нашої Свято-Софіївської семінарії. Саме звідси, кожного ранку і кожного вечора ми проводимо живу трансляцію богослужінь, для того, щоб ви могли разом з нами розпочати і закінчити свій день з молитвою на устах. The chapel is located in a space where the original owners had their recreation room, their library, and their warm house, as they called it, or sunroom. Тут у кімнаті, чи тепер вже в каплиці святих трьох святителів, перед тим оригінальні власники цього будинку мали свою рекреаційну кімнату. Тут перед тим була і бібліотека, тут була і теплиця колись, а пізніше вже ця кімната була перероблена, коли наша церква її придбала, перероблена на каплицю семінарії. Я пригадую, коли я приїхав вперше сюди до містечка в Саут-Бамбург, до духовного осередку нашої митрополії, ось цієї стіни не існувало. Це все була скляна стіна в каплиці, і кожного разу, коли служилося богослуження, можна було побачити, як дикі олені, чи косулі, чи білки підходили прямо до вікон і заглядали у вікно під час того, коли служилися богослуження. I have to tell you, years ago, this wall didn't exist, and there was a glass wall. And during the services, when we prayed here in the chapel, deer and squirrels and birds would come all the way almost to the window early in the morning and tap into the window looking for food, obviously. But for us, it was a clear sign that we joked among ourselves, and we really believed that they were coming to pray with us, at least to say hello to all of us early in the morning. What you see, the beautiful icon screen, the iconography in the seminary chapel, all of that was installed about 10 years ago in the seminary. Prior to that, we did not have this beautiful iconography here. In fact, this chapel was very dark colors were here. The old icon screen was removed after a donation was made to the seminary from a family that lived outside of Chicago in Illinois. This gentleman was blessed to have his mother, who was handicapped a bit. Her name was Helen, and the icon of St. Helen is right there on the wall. And in his house, because his mother was in a wheelchair, he changed one of the rooms into a chapel space. And every single day, he would invite one of the priests to come and have a liturgical service for his mother. When the mother passed away, the gentleman tried to sell the house, but nobody would buy a house with the church inside in it. And so he made a donation. The entire icon screen, iconography, everything was removed and a donation was made to the seminary. And we literally went to Chicago area, cut out the icons in a drywall and brought them here, installed them. And due to the generosity of Father Todor Mazur, pastor of our Holy Trinity Ukrainian Orthodox Cathedral in New York City, Boone Street, we were able to install all of this. And Father Bogdan Kaleniuk with his parishioners from Holy Trinity Parish in Bansonville, Illinois, also made a huge investment in making sure that this room was remodeled and properly prepared for liturgical services. Ця каплиця прийшла до існування у цьому модерному вигляді 10 років тому, коли одна жіночка, яка була хворою, відійшла у вічність, але перед тим, як вона захворіла, відійшла у вічність, її син обладнав кімнату з цілою маленькою каплицею чи церковцею. Після її смерті він старався продати будинок, але ніхто його не купив через те, що церква була в хаті, і він зробив пожертву. Цей цілий іконостас, ікони, все, що ви бачите навколо, було привезено із Чикаго околиці. І завдяки жертовності отця Богдана Каленюка, отця Тодора Мазура і інших парафіян і працівників, все було переобладнано приблизно 10 років тому і вкладена ця каплиця на сьогоднішній день в той розмірі, в тому стані, в якому вона знаходиться. I would love to call your attention to two icons that we have in the seminary chapel. First is the icon of Holy Wisdom of God. Перша ікона, на яку я хотів, щоб ви звернули увагу, це є ікона Святої Софії, Премудрості Божої. Саме ім'я Святої Софії, Премудрості Божої і носить наша семінарія. This icon is a generous work of prayer and dedication of Dobrodika Natalia Zharska. Father Zinovy Zharsky is pani matka, wife. Father Zinovy is a pastor of our Holy Trinity Ukrainian Orthodox Parish in Trenton, New Jersey. And Pani Natalia donated with Father Zinovy this icon for the seminary purposes. Remember, a few days ago we lit this candle in memory of the fallen men and women of the police force that have reposed in the Lord, and this entire week we were honoring our police workers, and so this 7-day candle will remain burning here in the chapel for the next 7 days in memory of those 307 people that have lost their lives. This icon is the work of prayerful attempt and generosity of iconographer Michael Kapalik from our St. Peter and Paul Ukrainian Orthodox Parish in Carnegie, Pennsylvania. Subdeacon Michael wrote this icon for us years ago of 3 holy hierarchs, and that's what the chapel is. The chapel is of 3 holy hierarchs, and every single time we serve liturgy and we do a dismissal and commemoration, we always look at this icon with our eyes for the intercession of the 3 holy hierarchs that under whose protection the chapel is. З цієї сторони каплиці, знову ж таки, ми маємо мощовик Свято-Софіївської семінарії. On this side we have the reliquary of St. Sophia Seminary. Years ago we were blessed with the donation of over 48 relics that were made to the seminary and the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the USA, in fact. And all those relics are preserved here in the chapel. So I'll ask Subdeacon Yaroslav with the camera to approach, and so you can zoom on the relics inside and also on a list of names whose relics those are. Тут у каплиці також знаходиться мощовик нашої Свято-Софіївської семінарії, де кілька років тому пожертва була зроблена з приблизно 48 маленькими мощовичками мощей святих, котрі були встановлені у Свято-Андріївській церкві пам'ятнику, але пізніше перенесені до семінарійної каплиці, і тут вони знаходяться по сьогоднішній день. І наші семінаристи мають нагоду прикластися до мощей тих святих, котрі відкладені. So this is our seminary with iconography, with the altar space. It is also a classroom. In a seminary, a chapel, it's not only a place for prayer, but also for practical exercises. So our seminarians, especially our graduating seminarians, have their last year of instructions, practical instructions here in the seminary. They practically learn how to serve divine services, how to vest themselves, how to prepare the Lamb of the Lord, how to prepare a cross for it, how to serve every single service. Протягом останнього року навчання семінариста семінарії тут, у цій каплиці, вона перетворюється буквально на класну кімнату, де студенти проводять практичні заняття, де вони вчаться служити божественну літургію та інші богослуження, включно з тим, як накласти на себе священні ризи, як служити проскомидію і інші святі тайни в житті нашої церкви. So, this is our seminary chapel. And now we're going to go upstairs into the second floor in order to see the residential area of the seminary, where our students live. Usually nobody's allowed to visit the seminary on the second or third floor because that's private space for seminarians. But guess what? There are no people in their physical bodies that are going upstairs. So no rules are being broken. And we can actually, with a camera, go upstairs. Переважно ми маємо заборону, коли приходять гості в семінарії, вони не мають права підніматися на другий або на третій поверх через те, що це є приватна територія, де живуть студенти-семінаристи, і вони мусять мати час і право на свою рідну приватність. Але сьогодні, проводячи цю маленьку екскурсію з вами наживо, немає жодної людини, окрім семінаристів і мене, а я живу тут в будинку, що ми можемо, а щоб хтось підходив і виходив на другий чи третій поверх. Тільки камера і приблизно понад 100 вас, котрі зараз з нами, споглядаєте за цією маленькою екскурсією. Отож, я запрошую всіх вас через телефон піднятися зі мною на другий, на третій поверх і подивитися, де живуть наші семінаристи. Бо вони всі десь ховаються. We're going to see where the seminarians are in their rooms because they're hiding. So we'll go and try to find them. So we're going upstairs. And the moment you come to the second floor, you immediately see the space where I reside, where I live. And I'll welcome you before we go into the rooms of the seminarians to my office, where I meet with students and sometimes where we have our creative discussions about the life in the seminary. So if you heard certain songs that some seminarians like to sing, when they tend to fail a course or not doing well on the test, this is the space where we have our little sacred discussions about academic skills. Деякі семінаристи деколи люблять жартувати зі мною про те, що коли вони не здають, чи зближаються до того моменту, що не здають, чи не підходять, не роблять добру роботу своїм тестом, я їх запрошую в кабінет до себе, і вони мають тут зі мною свою рідну розмову. Саме тут, в цій кімнаті, і проходять оці такі цікаві розмови щодо навчання семінаристів в семінарії. Проте це є кімната в будинку семінарії, де чи хтось з викладачів може зустрітися з семінаристами, чи я, коли я маю зустріч з семінаристами, чи це є один із моїх робочих кабінетів протягом дня. So this is one of the working spaces that we have in a seminary for myself or for any of the professors if they need to come and meet with me or with some of the students. Some of the photos on my desk commemorating today's United States Armed Forces Day and also the anniversary of my ordination to the Holy Priesthood as of a few years ago, in fact 12 years ago. So enough being in my room. I think my room is interesting, but I'm sure there's more interest to go and visit the rooms where seminarians live. So we shall go and surprise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 of them. So we'll go somewhere. Let's see. Let's go and surprise somebody. Total darkness. Nobody's here. So this is the room of the cameraman. That's why he wanted me to come here. So you don't see him, but he was pointing to me, go to my room first. And so we are in his room first. This is the room of Subdeacon Yaroslav, where he stays. He's here all by himself. In fact, turn the camera so people can see. He doesn't want to do that. Let me attempt to do this. There you go. There he is. I've learned to do this. I can be a cameraman myself. I'm returning it to him. And that's where he lives, that's where he does his assignments. Usually we have 2 students in a room, but since our part-time students are not able to come, only full-time residents are living, seminarians all have their private spaces in the rooms where they are. So this is one of the rooms, typical room, what it looks for a seminarian. Let's go and surprise Pavlo, the Sotsky, another seminarian. Right. Here he is. He was watching probably on a computer us because I saw that he logged in and he was also watching. So he immediately turned his computer off so we wouldn't see that he was watching us. But this is the room of seminarian Pavlo. Це кімната семінариста Павла. Де знову ж таки він сам на сьогоднішній день тут є. Він тут був разом з Ярославом в кімнаті, але я не знаю, що трапилося. Він Ярослава вигнав з кімнати. Що сталося, що ти його вигнав з кімнати?
Нічого страшного, він трошки почав храпіти.
А він храпів. So, and in English, why did you kick out Yaroslav of your room?
This place used to belong to Yaroslav
This
Biloga
space, okay.
Until he started snoring.
So, and you kicked him out of the room?
Almost, yeah.
Almost, so you pushed him out of the room. We're joking here, obviously nobody pushed anybody, but because of the availability of space, so seminarians have a little bit more freedom to move around. So this is a second room where students are. So what else do you want to tell us here?
This is my bed where I sleep. This is my workplace where I do my homework. That's it.
And where is the space that you listen to your music so loudly in the seminary?
So this is machine.
Where? That's a subwoofer, that's not a...
Yes, this is one here and here.
But where's the machine itself? I want to see what's underneath
here.
there.
Machine is here.
Oh, that's where the machine
Yes.
is. Okay, so can you play some music for us so we can see what you listen to?
I will try.
Okay, try it. Let's see what he listens to. I want to know. Because sometimes I wake up in the morning and it's so loud, my walls are shaking, and that's his fault usually. Зараз подивимося, що Павло слухає в себе в кімнаті, що інколи ціла моя кімната, кабінет дрожить від всяких звуків. Зараз ми побачимо, що тут таке є. Ой, there is a system here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see. So we have 2 flags. We have flag of the United States of America. We have flag of Ukraine. And we have, oh, look at this. So I guess our UL chapter from Holy Ghost Parish in Coatesville will be very happy. That was a gift of Holy Ghost Parish. And so they sent it to them. I made freedom count. I voted. Okay, that's very good that you voted. Look at all the medicine he has. Mamma mia, Tylenol. What else is he drinking? Tylenol, Allegra. Okay, so things that he needs, because if he's dealing with allergies or headaches, that's usually professors give to seminarians when they assign tests and homeworks. So let's see if music can be played. Wait a second, there's an elaborate system here. Okay, is it gonna work?
Yes.
All right, don't make me lie to people that it's not gonna work. It better work. Okay, so let's see. Something is gonna work now. Okay. I hope it's going to be decent music. Let's hope for this. He didn't know I was going to do this, so that's good. It's taking him a while. Okay, let's see. Takes a while, okay. It takes a while, obviously, for the system to work. Okay, let's see. It's gonna work. Okay. I guess it's not working. So now it's gonna work. I guess it's not working. All right, we'll try to return and see all that attempt, and it's not working. That's what wakes me up. It's a long story. We're going. It's a love song, seminarians listening to love songs, which is a good thing, I guess. They're dating their girlfriends, so hopefully soon they'll be married. Okay, let's see who's here. There is a person who's going to get married very soon, so love song was not a mistake that we listened to. So this is the room of Subdeacon Yaroslav.
Welcome to my room.
Welcome to your room. Okay, now we see. So who stays with you in this room?
Mykola
was.
Yeah.
So you kicked him out as well. What did he do?
Nothing special.
Nothing special. Okay, so you just got rid of him. Okay, so this is the room where Subdeacon Yaroslav stays, and before that Subdeacon Mykola was staying with him, but now he has also a little bit more space, and so he has freedom to move. And to prove that Mykola was here, you can look at the wall right there, and there is a picture there of his fiancée. So that means he for sure stayed here. All right, what else? Tell us something about your room.
This is my bed space when I'm sleeping. This is my workplace.
Okay.
So sometimes I like fix some electronic devices, so it's one of them.
Okay, so he tries to fix electronics.
Yeah.
So we have electronic engineer here in a seminary, which is a good thing. So if you have broken
It's
machines,
like hobby. It's a hobby. Yeah.
It's a hobby. So if you have broken machines, talk to Subdeacon Yaroslav. He will fix things for you. All right, thank you for allowing us to come to your room,
Thank you
and
for
we're
coming.
going
Bye.
on the third floor now. So all the schedules of the seminary are usually posted on the bulletin boards where seminarians have their daily schedule when the classes take place. For the spring semester, there are monthly cantors responsibilities, weekend cleaning responsibilities, a daily liturgical schedule, and also a listing of all of the professors that are teaching every semester. And here you have a poster that you might have seen in most of our parishes across the country of all of the students that are studying in various programs of the seminary presently. So, remember I told you there was a butler's kitchen, and there was a lift or elevator where food was delivered to the second floor. So there is a back staircase for people to go and bring service items back years ago in this building. So we're going to use that back staircase in order to get to the third floor. So let's go and see. So here, on this back, so it's pretty steep. So if you go up here, you see all of the iconography. Some of these icons are from various parishes of the church that over the years have remodeled their churches, and the icons were moved from their places, and we brought them to the Metropolia Center. And we decided to utilize this iconography in a seminary so students have a chance to see the work of prayer of the previous generation of Ukrainian Orthodox Christians. So here, somebody's waiting here for us. That's Subdeacon Mykola. He's the one who was kicked out of Yaroslav's room.
Yeah, exactly.
So where did he kick you out to?
Oh well, this is my room. Right
All the way
now.
to the attic.
Yes.
So you're in the attic. All right,
Right.
let's go and see.
Well, I can hear my guests coming, which does not happen often.
Okay.
Welcome to my room, Vladeko. Welcome everyone to my room.
Okay, it's
I live on the third floor
Mhm.
in a nice little room, which is. I have the opportunity to live by myself, and therefore I have the opportunity to utilize these two tables by myself. And I want to tell you my story about these two tables. Я живу на третьому поверсі і маю можливість використовувати всю кімнату і два столи. Один стіл, на котрому я маю комп'ютер, на якому я працюю, я вчуся, я вирішую різноманітні життєві проблеми, накопичую різноманітні тягарі життєві. Я маю стіл, на якому я маю святе письмо, до котрого я стараюсь приходити вже з цими тяжкими тягарями і з проблемами, для того, щоб він через цю книгу вже міг мені їх допомогти вирішити і подарувати мені відпочинок як струдженому і обтяженому від цих життєвих всяких випробувань. And then, so I have my first table where I study, where I work, I collect, I gain my earthly, so-called earthly burdens, my problems. I try to solve on my own sometimes, but then at the end of the day, I come to the second table, at which I try to come in order to listen to him, who through this book, through the Holy Bible, helps me, grants me rest, and helps me to solve all the problems. That's it. This is the story about two tables.
So I'm very happy, Subdeacon Mikola, that you have my portrait, official portrait, here in the room. So how do I assist you in your daily routines? That am I keeping control over things, or?
Sure you do.
Sure you do.
Well, this is the third floor, and you're even on the
even on the third floor. I'm watching
even
over
on the
things.
third floor.
Okay,
Overseer.
Overseeing it, so that's a good thing. So Subdeacon Mikola, for those of you that do not know, hopefully by the grace of God, in August of this year, getting married in Ukraine. And remember, we were downstairs in the room where he used to stay, and there was a picture with his fiancée, Maria, and so he's here, she's downstairs, and she's also in Ukraine. So that's how it all works. So they talk on the computer there, and then he prays right here. Thank you, Subdeacon. Дякую, Микола.
I hope you came with peace, the same peace I wish to all of you. Я бажаю вам всім миру з моєї домівки тимчасової. Радий був вас усіх вітати.
Come here, look how many pairs of shoes he has. Gee, lots of shoes. All right, let's go further and go to another room. And so this is as I said, it's a third floor. So it's pretty, it's an attic basically, which was remodeled. And this is the space where students sometimes on the third floor have a chance to study. They have their couches, they also have their Yamaha, their keyboard. Some of them are, all of them are musically inclined, and you've heard them all chant and sing. And so sometimes they even rehearse here. And if you have a nativity Christmas carol recording, it was done partially here in this room with mixed board, with a Yamaha, microphones. They really invested time and effort in studying here. Here also you see the portraits of the hierarchs of the church. You have His Eminence Metropolitan Antony, you have my portrait, official portrait, but also you have a portrait of blessed memory of Metropolitan Constantine, whose anniversary of repose we're marking this coming Friday. Since the day of his repose. So let's go to the next room, and this is the room of two seminarians, Seminarian Andriy Batrich and Seminarian Maxim Zhuravchik. Let's see what's happening here. So Andriy is here. Is Maxim here? Both of them are here. All right, let's see what's happening here. Christos Voskres. How are you guys?
Good.
So we have about 130 people coming to your room right now. So what do you want to tell them? What do you want to tell them?
Okay, this is my bed. That is his bed.
Okay, so that's where you sleep. All right. So, and this is whose desk is this? Is that your desk?
This is my desk.
So that's where you do your homeworks, and you're on this side.
Yes.
So there's a separation.
Yeah.
So the Ukrainian flag separates you in the middle. So you're the yellow side, you're the blue side.
Right.
And that's how the competition takes place. All right, and sure they're taking vitamins. So those of you that are wondering if they're taking fish oil, some of them are taking fish oil. And I have no clue what he's drinking in this.
Water.
Water, this huge container. That's water. So how's it here on the third floor?
Very
You're
good.
high above heaven, so you're. Can we look through your window? See what you can see through the window?
Sure.
All right, let's see. Oh, okay. So you see Memorial Church all the way there. So from their room, you can see actually the Memorial Church. All right. So thank you guys.
You're welcome.
You're very serious. 130 people in that room. Obviously, they're going to be serious.
Yeah, right.
There you go. So, and now we're going to another room in a seminary, where it's a tiny room. It's probably the smallest room, and the smallest person in the building lives in this room. Oh, look at that. He's studying. There you go. So this is the room where Subdeacon Igor lives. As I said, Christos Voskres. So tell us something about your room.
My room is on the third floor, and this room is very particular because it is very tiny room, but at the same time this room is very prayerful for me, because as you can see on my left hand there is the icon of the Mother of God, and by the stories that Vladika told us, that one of the monks, he wrote that icon, which is, in my opinion, is very beautiful. Моя кімната, вона є розташована на третьому поверсі, вона знаходиться в такому самому куточку, і, як на мене, ця кімната є дуже комфортною, незважаючи на те, що вона є маленькою. В той самий час вона є дуже молитовною, так як вам Ярослав вже мав можливість і нагоду показати. Чому? Тому що по його праву сторону розташована є написана ікона Богородиці, котра була написана одним із наших священників-монахів. Тому я дуже люблю цю кімнату і завжди вона мені подобалася, тому що вона через цю ікону вона вирізнялася між усіма іншими.
So it's interesting, Igor, that in this room there lived a Belarusian Orthodox priest who later became Metropolitan for the Belarusian Orthodox Church, and this was his room, and this icon was the work of his hands. Metropolitan is a Slav. Later, he became Metropolitan. And so this icon's been here for years. I remember where different students lived here, and even Father Frank Istochin of blessed memory, when he used to teach in the seminary, he would come from Philadelphia and spend the night in the seminary. This was his favorite room because he would have a chance to sleep here, but also reflect on the image of the protection of the Mother of God. Now tell me, what are these medals? There are 3 medals here. So obviously I see it's in Ukrainian language, so it must be from Ukraine. So tell us, why did you bring them all the way from Ukraine to the US?
So indeed, yes, these medals are from Ukraine. When I was in Ukraine, probably in the age of 16 or 18, which I don't remember exactly now how old I was, but I used to play soccer a lot, and as a result of it, my team, we won several cup competitions, and yeah,
Okay.
that's how I got them.
So do you wear them from time to time? Do you put them on? I mean,
I'm
if
already
you
old for
you
that.
put it on, it would look like a panahia. So you know, well, let's see what it looks like. I'm gonna try one. Let's see what it looks like. It'll be fun. So I have a panahia, and he has 3 panahias. So he'll be like a patriarch. I'm just a bishop, and he'll be like a patriarch. So let's see. Let's see. There you go. All 3 of them. Wait a second. We have to fix it. So it all looks. Anyway, that's what it looks like. So it's all good. So all right, look at that. Okay, soccer team person. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Vladeko.
much. And so here on the 3rd floor, obviously bathrooms and shower rooms for all the students and seminarians. This is a little extra space that the Subdeacon will go around and show you a little bit. Also, for the students on the 3rd floor, preparing, posting schedule for them for their daily activities, iconography, and because all of our students that live in the building are from Ukraine, this is the room that has the most secrets. I'll show you something in this room. Look at this collection. All the suitcases. So every time our students fly to Ukraine, including myself, when we fly to Ukraine or anywhere else to visit your parishes, that's where our suitcases are located. Lots of them. And we use them to come to visit you. We also use them to go and visit our loved ones, our parents, our relatives, and that's our storage. So let's go downstairs now and follow me now through the front staircase. Here you will see some of the pieces of art that were left from the original art gallery from the times of 1970s. And here is a work from 1971 that was done by Hierarchs. In 1971, a picture of a forest scene. So recently, when I was traveling to Holy Land, and those that went with me to Holy Land, we stopped at the monastery, female monastery in outside of Jerusalem, on the Mount of Holy Ascension. And there, the nuns were so kind. And when we went to the next door church, which is dedicated to the Tomb of Lazarus, the nuns had this little sign with the Jesus prayer, asking for the blessing of the Lord. And that's how they would walk around and wake up all the nuns for the morning prayers. So no church bells in that particular monastery, but every morning when they needed to wake up for prayers, one of the nuns would go by their room and she would do this. And in that way, the nuns would be woken and ready, would stay awake and ready to go for the liturgical services in that church. So being there, nuns were so kind, and they presented this as a gift for me. And so we don't utilize it because our seminarians are always on time. I'm saying that with a smile, so they're never late when I serve, when I'm in the chapel, and it's very easy to make sure that everybody's awake and ready for liturgical services. One of my favorite paintings in the building, following the closure of the art gallery, is here. It's a bell tower of one of the churches in Ukraine. I love fall season. It reminds me of Route 80, going to All Saints Camp in Pennsylvania, all the trees. And even though our chapel is at All Saints Camp at the bottom of the hill, and not as many colorful trees there, but in the fall when you go there, it kind of reminds me of Hamilton, Pennsylvania, where the chapel is and where our children have a chance to experience summer encampments. In fact, if you haven't experienced our youth activity ministry, go to the youth ministry website of the UFC of USA and make sure that your children are logging in every single day for the home edition classes with the Director of Youth and Young Adult Ministry, Natalie Kapellik, and various speakers that are addressing our teenagers, the youth of the church, for about 2 hours every single day, reading them stories, talking to them, educating them in faith. This literally concludes our internal tour of the seminary. But before we conclude the internal tour of the building, I'd like to take you outside on the patio and on the back porch of the building. So come and follow me. So this is the porch, the front porch, where sometimes in the summer, now that it's getting warmer, we would sit with seminarians and have even our dinners or breakfast or just drinking coffee. In fact, last night I was sitting here and having coffee. And this is a beautiful location. It gets very extremely quiet in the evening or beautiful in the morning, and place to relax, place to think about things, and just to reflect about life in general. This entire porch, ceiling, columns, everything was literally falling apart this past summer, a year ago. And due to generosity of Father Todor Mazur and our parish of Holy Trinity, Ukrainian Orthodox Cathedral in New York City, it was totally remodeled. The floor, the ceiling, the columns. Ми щиро вдячні отцю Тодору Мазуру і парафіянам Українського православного собору Пресвятої Тройці з Broom Street в Нью-Йорку за те, що минулого року вони прийшли і повністю змінили цю передову кімнату, їхню терасу семінарію. Повністю колони змінили, підлогу, все було перемінено завдяки роботі тих жертовних людей. So come here with me and you will see the old patio of the old house. We just preserve. We try not to change it. We try not to touch it because it has a historical meaning. And so the old stones, the old windows, shutters, columns, all of this belongs to the original household of the owners of this particular property. Here in the summer, when we have St. Thomas, spring, when we have our St. Thomas Sunday pilgrimage, right here in this field in front of the seminary, seminarians are playing soccer with the people and students and visitors that come to the seminary. So if we come around this way, that will take us to another patio that we have, and that patio is all that takes us to the chapel. Remember, several weeks ago, prior to Pascha, we had a set of evening prayers right by that cross dedicated to Holy Apostles, and that's what the seminary chapel looks from outside. We will walk around, so you will get a chance to see what it looks like. So this entire wall used to be a solid glass. Now it's covered with plastic, with a siding. And considering that now, after all these rains that we had, the next project we will have is power washing this entire section because of so much greenery that we have in this particular location. So this is the cross I was referring to with the Holy Apostles, where we held our evening prayers. And I have to tell you, sometimes it's very prayerful to sit down here and to reflect and to pray by the crosses. There are 14 of them on the entire property of the church dedicated to various apostles. and they were installed with the blessing of His Eminence Metropolitan Antoni a number of years ago. The stones that you see under the crosses were done by the children, by the youth of our church when they came here in 2018, high school mission team. Natalie Capella came with a bunch of teenagers on high school mission trip, and they fixed all the crosses, and they colored all these stones, putting their names and putting the parishes where they're from. This one, it says UFC of the USA, 100 years, July 2019. So somebody brought this one last year when we celebrated Centennial. This one has a name of Marlene. So somebody did this stone and left it for us. And there are other stones that you will see on the property by the crosses. Lots of greenery, lots of trees. We have some illegal immigrants on our property. Look at them right there. Canadian geese. We have plenty of them. They're protected by law, and so we have hundreds of them on our property, and sometimes they're all over the place. Here, the cross that was brought from our parish in Newcastle, where our Ukrainian Orthodox parish in Newcastle had to close. One of the crosses that was displayed on their dome was brought here to the Metropolia Center, and we installed it right on the old chimney of the household of the Hetheringtons, and now the chapel of the Three Holy Hierarchs. Here is, on the back side of the seminary, you have a little fire pit that seminarians created. As I mentioned to you, they are very good cooks, so they make pizza, which I was not able to show you because they ate it. But they also make very good shish kebab. Семінаристи є добрими кухарями. Я ж вам розповідав про те, що вони люблять робити піцу, все з нуля, все спочатку. Правда, вони її з'їли, я не міг вам її показати навіть. Але тут вони самі собі обробили і зробили місце, де вони жарять шашлики. Деколи час від часу хлопці маринують м'ясо різними рецептами, вишуковують рецепти. І час від часу, коли є можливість, вони зажарюють, вони собі тут сидять, відпочивають. І таким чином, деколи навіть парафіяни з місцевих парафій приїжджають в минулі роки, коли не було обмежень коронавірусу, і ми мали можливість трошки посидіти і поспілкуватися з людьми, поспівати пісні, посидіти біля вогнища і одночасно і помолитися, і відпочити. So that brings us to the end of our little tour of St. Sophia Seminary. 1972 until 1975, those were the years of the establishment of our seminary. We are blessed to enter into the 46th year of ministry in the fall of this year of our St. Sophia Ukrainian Orthodox Theological Seminary. By the grace of God, we should be able to welcome new students that will come through the doors of this building, through this residence. The students that will come and research in a library, which is located in a consistory building, do their assignments, do their homeworks. Students that will come and spend time in a cultural center, in the classrooms, so that they're able to become fully equipped with the social, spiritual, and moral issues of our society, that once they're assigned to the parishes of our church, they're able to provide adequate spiritual care for the faithful. So, if any of you, якщо хтось з вас має бажання потрапити до семінарії і вчитися в семінарії, if any of you has a desire to come and study in a seminary, come and see, come and visit. Spend a weekend with us or spend a few days with us, and by the grace of God, maybe you will feel that the Lord called you or is calling you to become a clergyman of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, of His church. Дякую усім вам за те, що приєдналися до нашої маленької екскурсії. Якщо хтось з вас має бажання навчатися в семінарії, прийдіть і подивіться, відвідайте нас. І, можливо, ви відчуєте у собі той маленький вогник, котрий кличе вас для того, щоб бути священнослужителями або просто служителями Христової Церкви. So, thank you for the visit. Дякуємо за те, що завітали нас. But the seminary is officially closed because of COVID-19. Але семінарія офіційно закрита через те, що є обмеження з коронавірусом. Отож, ви нас відвідали, але нікому не кажіть, що ми вас запустили до будинку, коли ми нікого не мали права пускати. So you came and you visited with us, but don't tell anybody that we allowed you to come in the building when the building is officially closed. Be blessed. Христос воскрес. Christ is risen.